Alrighty. Wolf Children. Man. Let me give you a date real quick. 11, holy Cracker Jacks, 11 years ago. Oh my God. 11 years ago. Masahiro Soda released a masterpiece. And it's easy to watch an anime and feel moved by all the art, the music, the cinematography, the direction, right? And there is beauty in that. And definitely at that time, 11 years ago, that meant something. All the topics, all the stories, all the emotional beats made me feel a certain way. But that was 11 years ago. And watching Wolf Children in 2025 in 4K, see how that used to be Funimation? Good times. Now being distributed by G Kids, we see the return, but the return of, I guess, my interpretation of this film. Because, believe it or not, a lot can happen in 10 years. And I would definitely say that my mindset is a bit more skewed, maybe more matured, more weathered. I've gone through 2 nephews in my lifetime, and I love them both. But it's that sense of time, right? Children are such an interesting concept because no matter what, you have them, or somebody has them, and then you stick time on them. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years, and then 10 years later, 15 years later, they're completely different beings. And it just makes it so much more apparent to yourself that all this happened to you a lot faster than you had imagined it. So being able to sit down and rewatch this film as a semi-developed uncle, at the very least, made me feel different ways. Whereas, obviously before, 10 years ago, I would mostly relate to Ame, which is the male son, and you know, obviously being able to relate to the family, and that was my interaction. But believe it or not, we've been around. And there was a weird conversation that happened before this thing even popped up. It was oh, I guess, never mind. But it's an idea of what would happen if one, i.e., I am a human male for all intents and purposes. What would happen if one was no longer there to provide, to give, to love that offspring? And thankfully, Masahiro Soda had the same thought. So when we go through the story, the initial opening, the parental love that comes in felt different. It hit in a way that even though we knew things were coming, we had a different interpretation or a mindset or a different beliefs, different way of just approaching the situation. And this film does its best, its damn best, to make you feel scared. In one simple word, fear is what motivates the parents. Because at any point, this poor child without any common sense. This cute little being who just wants to live. And we worry about them because we know just how terrible things can be, how rough it might be heading into that universe. But that is the challenge of parenthood. Being able to give them everything, being this ominous protector, being their Superman. And then one day realizing that you have to let them go. And again, I'm speaking from a male counterpart stance, you know. I can easily look upon my own life and see the moment where the child was starting to develop independence or hyper independence from a very young age, and how those inspirations, those moments led to more independence, more self-thinking, more uniqueness, right? But then you also understand that with each step forward, you're leaving family behind. Maybe not forever, obviously. We love familial bonds. I care very, very much about everybody in my familial unit. It's a fairly big unit, but it is a desire, right? A longing, a want. That family that you are grown up with, that you're born with, has impacted you on so many levels. You live your life and you just remember the moments, the times, the battles, the heated arguments, and it changes you. We can say no two people are the same because even twins have to react to their counterpart, thereby altering the first twin's mental state, hence no longer being the exact same person. So there is uniqueness in that. There is beauty, there is hope that within the familial unit we can find purpose, drive, inspirations. But what we do with those, how we take those lessons and how we form them in our own image, and how we go about reproducing this dream, this idea, is what it's all about. You know, you live your life, you think you're gonna be this one thing, and then halfway through you're like, you know what? That's not my career. But we don't have that luxury when it comes to human beings. The choice of creating a new life is not to be taken lightly. Because if you're gonna bring something to this universe, you better fucking believe you have a plan for him. Not like this helicopter parenting, but you better fucking be sure that for the next 6 months you can afford a consistent stack of diapers, right? The formula, just the clothing. I can't fathom people just having kids just to have kids. And I get it. Things slip, stuff breaks. Mistakes is a strong word, but alternative paths are created. But even then, man, you want to know that whoever you're with, whatever person is helping to create this individual, will be there through the thick, through the thin, through the unavoidable arguments through the pain. I believe that is what family is about. There can't be a positive without a negative. But being in this familial unit where you understand that even if there are negatives, there is still responsibility. There is still the need to try, to protect, to care for, to love. And unfortunately, for this individual character who has to do most of the legwork by herself, we see the struggle, we see the pain, but we see the moments of joy, the small glimmers of hope that just maybe, together, everything's gonna be all right. Because that's family. It gives and it takes. But if you do it right, you will always know that there's a place for you back home. So, with that being said, wolf children, okami to kodomo no ame to yuki wa, it's a masterpiece. It is a lesson in the trials, the tribulations, and the hope. We just saw the Superman trailer. There's a quick scene where Superman's adopted mother goes like, "Whoa, I just dusted the boots. Here you go." And that's such a fucking small throwaway line. But if you really think about it, this man has to fly across the universe to go make a difference. And the simple act of a mother being there to take one less task away from the long list of chores to do is a godsend. So don't take it for granted. Love her. Tell her thank you. And for your father, I pray that he be the man that we need in this generation. Because if a mother's job is to provide comfort, warmth, and a safe place, then it is a man's job to defend that peace, to ensure stability, and to bring hope to the unit. So, if you have a chance, I know it's not in theaters at the moment. Yesterday was the last day. We went to go check it out. It was a great time. People had fun, made friends, blah, blah, blah. But there is a re-release, I believe, by G Kids that is coming out soon. And I will look into that. I think this is one of those films that holds against time, that stands against the test of time. And even though the first part is a little bit super anime weebish, you know what I'm talking about with the fuzziness, yeah, ayo. It's, if they can get past that point, then it becomes a story of human endurance and familial love. Not just familial, not just within the family unit, but with a village. Because it takes a village to raise a child. The more experiences we have, the better chances we have. And that is the love that we need. So, with all that being said, wolf children, Ame to Yuki, one of the best, period. And thank God Masahiro Soda is having fun out there and being cool and just really sharing that piece. So definitely go check that out. definitely have fun. If you are a fan of werewolves, you're gonna love this film. And I hope you receive just as much as of it, from this that I feel like I have, especially on the second viewing, or not a second viewing, but especially in this time skip, where the mind has developed into a different universe. But if you like that, if you like more ideas, and if you want to check out that Superman reaction that we just did, please hang out, check us by, hit that link, and I hope to see you around next time. But until then, hasta la próxima. Go hug your mother. Ya. Mátane.